In a world crackling with core energy, where power dictates your worth, Kale was a nobody, a zero. Born without a single spark of energy, he was an outcast, a stain on his family's prestigious name. While others soared, wielding the very fabric of reality, Kale could only watch from the dirt, his existence a constant reminder of his own powerlessness, yet he refused to surrender. He trained his body to its absolute peak, honing his skills with conventional weapons, believing that sheer will could bridge the gap where innate talent failed. This determination earned him a spot in the vanguard, a squad of elite energy users. He thought he'd finally found a place, a brotherhood. He was wrong. The mission was a death sentence, a journey into the forbidden ruins of Xylos, a place where even seasoned veterans feared to tread. The official objective was to retrieve a lost artifact, but the squad's true mission was far more sinister. Kale, with his relentless optimism and unwavering loyalty, was the perfect scapegoat. Deep within the crumbling, moss-covered labyrinth, surrounded by the eerie silence of a forgotten age, the betrayal struck. It wasn't a monster that felled him, but the poisoned blade of his squad leader, Rorik. "A zero like you is just dead weight, Kale," Rorik sneered, his face a mask of contempt. "Your share of the reward will be much more useful in our hands." The others, people he'd fought beside, laughed as they kicked him into a chasm, leaving him for dead in the suffocating darkness. As his life faded away, his blood cooling on the ancient stone floor, something shifted. The ground beneath him began to hum, a low, resonant frequency that vibrated through his very bones. A faint, ethereal light pulsed from the center of the chamber, drawing his fading consciousness. It was a relic, an obsidian heart suspended in a web of crystallized energy, forgotten by time. As Kale's blood trickled towards it, the relic flared to life. Tendrils of pure, black energy, unlike any core energy known to man, erupted from the heart and surged into Kale's body. The pain was excruciating, a supernova igniting within his cells. It felt like being torn apart and remade, atom by atom. He screamed, but no sound escaped the vortex of power consuming him. This wasn't the vibrant, colorful core energy of the world above. It was something primal, something void-like and absolute. When Kale opened his eyes again, they were no longer the hopeful brown of a bow trying to prove his worth. They were twin pools of midnight, swirling with an ancient, terrifying power. The wounds that should have killed him were gone, replaced by smooth, unblemished skin. He could feel it now, a bottomless well of energy thrumming inside him, a stark contrast to the emptiness he'd known his entire life. The world looked different, slower. He could see the streams of faint energy flowing through the stone walls, feel the life force of the grotesque creatures lurking in the shadows. He was no longer a zero, he was something else entirely. His ascent from the chasm was not a climb, it was a reckoning. The monsters of the ruins, creatures that would have sent entire squads running, now cowered before him. A massive stone-shelled golem, its hide impervious to conventional attacks, charged at him. Kale simply raised a hand. Black tendrils of energy shot forth, not blasting the golem, but seemingly unmaking it. The stone shell dissolved into dust, the creature's life force siphoned away in an instant, leaving nothing behind. He moved through the ruins like a phantom, a whisper of death. The shadow stalkers that haunted the corridors, known for their stealth and lethal speed, found themselves frozen in place, their shadowy forms dissipating under his gaze. He wasn't just killing them, he was erasing them from existence. Meanwhile, on the surface, Rorik and his squad were celebrating their newfound wealth and the successful disposal of their burden. They swaggered into the nearest outpost, boasting of their bravery in the ruins, spinning a tale of Kale's heroic but foolish sacrifice. They presented a fragment of a lesser artifact, claiming it was the grand prize, the lead tasting sweet on their lips. But their celebration was cut short by a sudden, chilling drop in temperature. The air grew heavy, thick with an oppressive aura that made their core energy sputter and flicker like dying flames. The outpost's alarms blared, not for a monster attack, but for an energy signature that was off the charts, an anomaly so powerful and so alien it defied all classification. The doors to the tavern burst open, not with a bang, but by dissolving into black mist. There stood Kale, framed by the doorway, his silhouette radiating an aura of absolute dread. He wasn't breathing heavily, nor did he look injured, he looked bored. "Rorik," Kale's voice was a low, calm rumble that cut through the panic. "You forgot something." Rorik's face went pale, his bravado vanishing like smoke. He tried to muster his energy, to form a blade of light, but the power fizzled out in his palm. The oppressive aura Kale exuded was suffocating their connection to core energy. "Impossible, you're a zero," one of the squad members stammered, stumbling backward. Kale gave a chillingly serene smile. "I was," he said, taking a slow step forward. "You fixed that." Panic erupted. The squad members unleashed their strongest attacks: fireballs, energy lances, arcane bolts. But the projectiles never reached him. They simply vanished into the black aura surrounding Kale, absorbed without a trace. He walked through the volley of attacks as if strolling through a light rain. He reached the first betrayer, the one who had kicked him into the pit, and placed a hand on his shoulder. The man didn't even have time to scream, he just crumbled. Like the golem in the ruins, he turned to gray dust that scattered on the floor. His core energy, his life force, everything he was, gone. One by one, Kale moved through the squad. He didn't rush, he didn't rage. His movements were deliberate, almost graceful, each touch delivering a final, silent judgment. When only Rorik was left, trembling in a corner, Kale stopped a few feet away. "Please," Rorik begged, tears streaming down his face. "Kale. We were brothers, it was a mistake. I'll give you everything." Kale tilted his head, a look of genuine curiosity on his face. "You said my share would be more useful in your hands," he recalled calmly. Show me how useful it is now." He extended his hand, palm up. A sphere of swirling black energy materialized above it, pulling in the light and sound around it, a miniature black hole of pure annihilation. Rorik could only stare in horror as the sphere drifted slowly towards him, the last thing he would ever see. The world outside the outpost saw only a flicker of black light, and then, silence. Far away, in the gleaming capital city of Athilgard, alarms were screaming in the highest echelons of power. Within the sanctum of the World Council, ancient mages and powerful energy masters stared at their global energy sensors in disbelief. An event of unprecedented magnitude had registered, originating from a desolate region near the Forbidden Ruins. It wasn't a natural disaster or a monster horde. It was a singular point of power, a signature so dense and fundamentally different from core energy that their instruments could barely comprehend it. It was like detecting a rip in the very fabric of their reality. They had seen powerful individuals rise and fall, but this was different. This was not a new player entering the game. This was the arrival of a new game entirely. An old, white-haired seer, whose eyes had been closed for a decade, suddenly snapped them open, whispering a single, trembling word that echoed in the silent chamber. Extinction. Kale, the outcast, the zero, had awakened. And the world that had cast him out was about to learn the true meaning of power.